What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to talk about something very important involving Tesla. We're seeing a lot of headlines coming out saying that Tesla has a 1.8 million recall. They're saying that a bunch of these Teslas have an issue. So I want to talk about what that is and whether or not this actually is going to require another software update. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And don't forget about the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000 and you're guaranteed 15, and the offer ends very soon tomorrow, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, for Tesla, we've been pushing on a very, very nice looking uptrend approaching our 1 hour 200 EMA. But the issue is now Tesla's kind of like fighting right over here, and we're going to be watching to see what kind of reaction we end up getting. So it's going to be very important to watch here at this resistance. We're still kind of shuffling right over here. But what's making things kind of complicated is this news that has come out. Every mainstream source is screaming this. Tesla is recalling more than 1.8 million EVs because of a faulty hood latch. And they're saying that this has happened because of the fact that, once again, Tesla has to issue a software update to fix this. And the media is just screaming that this is a recall all over the place and this may have a bigger effect on Tesla. This wasn't as crazy as the media is making it seem, but I just want to call this out. So basically, the quote unquote recall affects most Tesla cars on the road from its main four models: the Model S, the 3, the X, and the Y, according to the NHTSA. So this is actually very important. After a customer opens the hood of their car, its latch assembly may not detect that it's open, according to the NHTSA. As a result, when the car is put into drive, the vehicle may not notify the driver that the hood is still open, and that could leave the hood fully open, kind of obstructing the view of the driver while on the road, increasing the risk of a crash. That's what they're essentially saying. As a result, Tesla said that it's not aware of any crashes or injuries that happen related to the issue, despite the fact that there were three claims made on July 20th. Tesla's also trying to make it very, very clear that they are going to be delivering an over the air software update to customers that's going to detect the open hood and notify the driver, and they're going to try to fix this issue. So that's something that's worth noting. The media is screaming, okay, that it's a recall. They're recalling 1.8 million vehicles, this and that. But all it is just a very, very simple software update fix. But the media has its way of doing things. I'm going to show you. CNBC is saying the same thing, CBS as well, that we have a 1.8 million vehicles being recalled. Tesla has a big recall. Other sources are saying that it's a recall. I'm just seeing this all over the place. If you look at AP News, for example, Tesla's recalling more than 1.8 million vehicles due to a hood issue. Don't forget, guys, they fixed this with a software update, but the media has its way of kind of wording everything. Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, same thing. Even Reuters said it. Tesla's recalling 1.8 million vehicles. So I want to clarify that this is not a conventional recall for a car company. This is simply a software update that fixes this issue. It's very important to clarify this, that there's a lot of information coming out there, which is not as accurate as it could have been. But I just wanted to call that out. Anyways, also, I just want to remind everyone that at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes after the market opens, we have the JOLTS job openings reports, consumer confidence, and the job quit report that's going to be coming out. So watch for volatility 30 minutes after the market ends up opening. So watch and see what that leads to. I'm going to be seeing what kind of reaction the market gets. And then two final things. We just had earnings that came out. We had SoFi and PayPal announced their earnings. Both did very, very well. After the market closes, we have AMD and Microsoft. We'll see what kind of reaction we get from all of these. So just as a reminder, PayPal did very, very well. Revenues up 8% year over year, beating expectations at $7.89 billion. EPS is at $1.19, beating estimates of 98 cents. Total payment volumes increased 11%. Transactions are up 8%, and they also increased their guidance. The outlook is looking pretty good. They also are telling us that once again, the consensus has increased, and now they're expecting the EPS growth to be in a single-digit percentage, which is not bad whatsoever. So good earnings from PayPal, good growth, good forecasts. For SoFi, it's the same thing essentially. They did relatively well. They beat on a lot of different things out there when it comes to EPS. Not to mention revenue is pretty decent, and they're raising guidance, so pretty good for SoFi. That's why the share prices are up for both of these companies. Anyways, let's just talk about the charts now. So as far as Tesla goes, I'm a little bit concerned. So we have our 200 EMA, the 234 areas, our key resistance. Tesla is fighting this right now. If Tesla breaks this, if we manage to break past 234, we could be looking for a test and we could get very close to about 238. It is possible for Tesla to try to break all the way up there. And if that breaks, we'll be looking for 242. But if Tesla fails to break 234, that's going to be our 200 EMA. I'll be looking for support down here towards 232. And then there's 229 below that, not to mention 225. So watch those levels. As of right now, we're just shopping around. And the reason why I'm a little bit kind of like double-minded about this, whether Tesla breaks this or not, is because we got this bad news about the big recall that the media is screaming about. Once again, it's not your conventional recall. It just requires a software update to fix. So we'll see what kind of reaction Tesla gets because of this. As of right now, it's still fighting. It's not able to break the 200 EMA. We'll see if that breaks or not. So the setup is still more bullish on Tesla. It looks like it wants to push higher. But like I said before, there's no confirmation of Tesla breaking past the 200 EMA. So if we end up rejecting, we'll be looking for 229 again, in lower levels. If we break 234, we could try to rebound. It's very hard for me to make this call right now because we got this very, very big news. So I'm going to wait and see how we end up opening. So be very careful, guys, with Tesla. The news is screaming that there's a recall, even though that's not really the truth. And it could still affect Tesla in a different manner. So watch for that very carefully. We'll see what kind of reaction we get. And we'll be very, very patient. For SPY, we're remaining very, very sideways, very choppy. 547 is our resistance. 544 has been our support, not to mention 542. So we're still trading sideways, back and forth and back and forth. If you look at the last 4 days, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We need to break past 547 to turn bullish. Otherwise, we're just completely choppy. So give this some time. We're just waiting to see what SPY does. It's still range bound. We'll see if there's a big reaction at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Break 547, we're bullish. Lose 542, we're bearish. So we'll just have to wait and see. Nvidia is dipping a little bit. Now it's trying to retest 112. So if it breaks through this, it might just consolidate between 112 and 116. If it fails to reclaim 112, we could be dipping all the way down towards 108. So just be careful. See if we could break past 112 and consolidate. If not, we could dip a little bit. So give Nvidia some time. Bitcoin is also just trading completely sideways. We have resistance currently at 67,000, support at 66,000. It's also very choppy, but there is potential for us to try to rebound back up towards our 50 EMA around 67,500. For the QQQ, okay, this has an interesting looking structure. We have resistance at 466. If that breaks, with PayPal pushing, this could help us a little bit. I'll be looking for 468 as a potential target. If we lose 462, we turn back down. This is looking like it wants to push higher towards 466 and then maybe try to break through that into 468. So it has more potential since PayPal had good earnings. So it's giving the market a little bit more potential. Apple is trying to rebound. Look at 220 as resistance. If we break this, look at 222 and then 225. If we fail to break this, we're just range bound between 216 and 220. We've been doing that for the last 4 days. So I think that this might push a little bit higher. So watch and see if we break 220. For the IWM, we have 222 as this resistance. If this breaks, we'll be looking for 224. If it rejects here, we'll be dipping back down to 220. This might try to push higher. The IWM, it looks like it might try to bounce. Remember, we have like a cup and handle like structure. So this has potential if we could try to hold above 222. And if that's the case, look for 224. For Coinbase, we're just kind of flat right now at this 232 to 234 area. Look at resistance at 237.6. Look at support at 232. We have a head and shoulders like structure. If we lose 232, we'll be looking for this gap fill down below. So be careful with Coinbase, guys. There is a bearish structure, so we'll see if support holds or not. For Amazon, since we're above 184, that's a good sign. We could be pushing all the way up to 186.15 if that holds. Eventually 188, but we have to hold above 184. For Meta, we're still trading flat around the 466 area. If we break past 467, I'll be looking for basically 470 plus. If we end up rejecting from where we are and we end up dipping below 464, we'll be dipping back down to about 460. So we have kind of like a head and shoulders. I'm not going to count on the pattern. We're just shuffling at 467. So watch and see if we can break above that. Otherwise, we're just kind of trading sideways in the pre-market. For Microsoft, we have a potential to push. If we break past 427, look for 430 again, but we're still kind of range bound. I need to see if we can try to break 430 or not. Otherwise, we're just completely trading sideways. If Google holds 172, I'll be looking for a push for these imbalances at 174. As long as we hold above 172, I do see a bounce coming for Google. So I see potential in the charts. All right, that's it for my analysis, at least for the markets in the pre-market. A lot of stocks are starting to show signs of upside momentum thanks to PayPal's earnings and also because of momentum that's shifting for the indices. But like I said before, for Tesla, let's be a little bit careful, guys. I would love to see Tesla break out, but I'm a little uh, I'm kind of double minded, like I said, because of this big news that's coming out that's a little bit negative. There's a lot of misinformation coming out about Tesla. They're calling it a giant recall, and it's just a simple software fix. So we'll see how things go for Tesla from here, and we'll see if we can break 234 or not. So just be careful, wait for open, be very patient, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for listening, and peace out.